when I'm setting my panel work up, what I like to do is I just use my lever. I use my level and my laser. So that is all fixed. So we know that's bang on. Can you see the line? I have it running, just a mill on there, all the way around. So I know my panel has to be there because this floor's unlevel. So this floor runs down. It's got a bit of a slope on it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my panel in, and then I'm going to mark my panel on the top, which I'll show you as I'm going along. I'm just explaining how I've done it. So you get your laser level on there. You see your laser level all the way around. All the way around. So I can mark on that side unit here. Just go like that. Mark that section there so you know it's no higher. Mark that section there, and then what I'll do is I'll get my marker and draw a line along there, and then for my bracket I know it can't be any higher than that because the worktop needs to sit on it. If you look at my tall housing unit, it's following the shelf, that's bang on, but that's going to drop down because we're going to have a double oven in, so it don't really matter. But if you were having a door on it, it would. And that's how we get it set up. Now we'll get this panel working. I'm just going to cut this one in half first, get it on, and then we'll mark it. Once we've cut this panel, plenty of glue on it, especially around washing machine. Just get it pasted on. Better off just having a load of PVA in a pot, and then you can just paste it. Then all we have to do, don't have to wipe this because it's got the plastic on. Take the plastic off, which is there. Then you've got a nice neat line. You know that panel's sealed, it's not going to blow, and that's going to go in. These panels only measure 870. Really, they should be bigger, so you can cut them down. So when the floor's different levels, they're not long enough. 870 is not long enough for appliances to go underneath with the floor. Kitchen firms should learn that and should send a bigger panel. Yeah, hang on. So what I'm doing here, I'm getting my panel, make sure it's on my laser, exact, then I'm marking underneath it. And why I'm doing that is because I'm going to cut that section out, so when I put my plinth on, my plinth goes back and it'll go right up to this other plinth. And when you need to take these appliances out, you just pull it out and take it off. If you don't do that, you put that panel to the floor, that means you're going to have a little right angle which comes in there, which is just a pain. So it's easier just to cut it out. I'm going to cut 30mm off this because that's 30mm. Door's going to come to in line there. That leaves 10mm on there, so I'll cut 30mm off that panel. That means that plinth will go back 40mm, exact same as the rest of them. Push that unit up to that. Get behind it, screw it in. Push right in there. It's hanging over, how is it flush? There. It's not good. Lee's flush and my flush is two different things. It has to be flush so you're not having. Yeah, but you don't want it the other way, do you? Otherwise you're going to see it. Don't mind if it steps in slightly there, because the door's going to come to here. Just get it in. Get underneath. Right, push it in. Is it pushed up there, no gap? Yeah. it's a pain to get a screw into it, but you want to screw into it to make sure that it's firm, solid, because when this washing machine's in here vibrating, rattling about, you don't want that panel to move. Now we're just going to put some clips in from there to the floor, bolt it to the floor. It's on my laser level, so it's bang on. So we know that that panel is flush that way and it's flush that way. So when we put the washing machine in, we'll have no issue with the door. Just drill the hinge, put it in, has to be level. I've cut a panel 50mm exact. Can you see that? 50mm, not 50mm at top and 45mm at bottom. 50mm, every angle, in the middle, at the top, bish bash bosh. With my circular, put that in there, because what we're doing here is, we know that this, we know that that is 50mm exact, yeah, from there to that point. So what we don't want any bounce in this. So I've just cut that panel in there, like so. Put that in there, can't be no bounce. Bolted it at the bottom. My mate comes round here, he gets in here. I bolted it there, that's screwed there, that can't move. Get level on that. Bang level. That's what you want. If this ain't level, that's not going to be level, that ain't going to be level. Then, complications. Everything level, doors level, panels level, units level, everything level. Makes life easier. If it's all level to start with, you won't have an issue. There's line, laser around there, that can screw straight into the worktop when I put it in. I've got that bolted there, it can't push down, can't push in because I've got it bolted there and screwed in there, and it can't push in there. Bang on, that's how we want it. The only thing what I most probably do here, I'm going to put another one of these brackets on the legs down there, just to fix that, and then we'll put the blocks in for the washing machine. We've got some blocks to lift the washing machine up, because when the floor goes in, it's a nightmare trying to pull something out if you haven't raised it. Because sometimes the floors, it could be 10mm, it could be 20mm, could even be 30mm. And then try to get a washing machine out, integrate the washing machine out if the floor's too high. So we put it on a block, stand it on a block, and then we can just pull it out. We screw the blocks to the floor. That's it. On this side panel, the inner cut, what I'm going to be cutting is going to be bigger. So I'm doing it at 60mm. Always check what you're doing it at when you fit in the kitchen. But I'm doing it at 60mm, so that runs in line with this panel. So from that gap there to that gap there, it's 520, 520. So them two plinths are going to just fit, and they'll fit exact level. Then the corner post, that shiny corner post, which I'm going to fit on here, will be getting screwed to that, and then the plinth's going to go straight into that, and it'll fit like a dream. And that's how we're doing it. So I'm going to put my worktops in, so I've measured them. I'm going to mitre it into this corner here. So my mitre is going to be here, because these are freestanding. I don't want the mitre here where there's no support for the washer dryer. So I've made my frame up, I know exactly where it's going. It's going to go run in line with that. It's going to go straight down. So just measure your top. I'm just going to cut it 2 meters to start with that top and get rid of the wastage. And then I'm going to faff about with this corner here. I've got a jig for a corner, so we're going to put a corner piece on it. So I'll do my corner piece first, and then I'll router it straight. Then I'll cut it to size and do my mitre. That way, if you knock this corner up when you're first doing it, you've still got a bit of top to play with. If you cut it exact to size and then do it, and then something goes wrong, you haven't got no top to play with. So I always start with the trickiest part, then if there is a glitch, you've still got some top left. Always possible.
No cutlery.
Yeah. So for the first part of the worktops, take the instructions out, read them, just to see if there's all different. Chances are there's not. It's all the same, basic stuff. Don't put a mitre too close to a sink, hob. But sometimes, if you want a mitre, you've got no option. So you've got to have a word with a customer, and if they want a mitre and they're prepared to warrant it, then you put a mitre in. If they're not prepared to warrant it, put a jointing strip in. So there's always chance, because what people forget is these are wood tops. Even though I use Evo me and I glue them together, but if water, say you're spilling a load of water and that water's sat on that surface, wherever there's a gap, water will go. No matter what anybody tells you, wherever there's a gap, water will travel. So if someone don't religiously make sure that that joint's always dry and clean, it'll take some spillage and spill, just as long as you wipe it off. But if you don't wipe it off, it's going to sweep into that joint, and then that joint, it's wood, it's going to swell. So I use Evo. It's the best thing for sealing tops, I think. But when you're using Evo, you've got to be right first time, because there's no second chances. Once you stick it in, that's it. It's bish bash bosh. So you can use these other sealants, what the same with the worktops. You can use them, and then you've got a lot more time to play with it. But I don't think they seal the tops properly, so I don't tend to use them. Just as long as your mitre tight and it's square, you shouldn't have a problem. I always glue them. So once you've read the instructions, measure it, cut it. So what I'm doing, I'm using a curved jig for this. Now this jig, I've had that long and I don't use it that often. Can't even remember what all these holes are for. But it has flooded back to me, slowly and surely. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut this top down yet until I get this corner perfect. So I'm going to router it, always router left to right. Sometimes you need to flip the worktop up and then router left to right, because you always, if this corner were on there, you'd have to flip the top, because you're always flipping it. So router it, I'm using my DeWalt router. I've clamped it up nice and firm. I've got my earplugs in. I've got my, have you seen that? Dad, King of the Kitchen. That's off my daughter, that. But what it is I don't like dust. When you're routering, you get a lot of dust. So what I do is I put this on, and no dust can go in my pocket. Top tip. So I use this for routering. Get your glasses, earplugs, mask. 10mm, bit by bit. Persevere. Never let go of this while you've got it up. Now that's lovely, that. So we can, edge is lipping straight into that. Round there, what I'm going to do is